have the competency. So you are not certified with that case because the competency is locked. So you want to take it to another step or to another court. From the intermediate court, you can go to the high court. You go to the high court. That is, so how many courts did you appear in? The first one you appear in the intermediate court, and the second one you went to the high court. So you appear in two courts and you appeal one. And if you are not satisfied with the judgment of the high court, or if the high court is not competent also for your case, you can go to the court of appeal. So you left from the intermediate court, you went to the high court. From the high court, you are now into the court of appeal. So do you see that? You appear in three courts. The first, intermediate, high court, and court of appeal. Those are the three courts you appear in, and you appeal two times. So if you appear two times, you appeal one time. If you appear three times, you appear. Let's say you appeal two times. So hope you understand it. And in courts or under the judicial law, there are characters or there are characteristics. The judicial law is composed with characteristics. What are those characteristics? There are three characteristics. Number one is the legislative. If you hear the word legislative, it is let's say the judicial law is legislative because there are rules. Every rules within that judicial law is formed in the Constitution and other laws. So the Constitution, the penal code, the customary law, whatever one, whatever sources of law, the let's say that is a characteristics of the judicial code. And next characteristic is the public. So the action or the plan or the decision of the court cannot be deviated. So you cannot deviate the decision, you cannot deviate the power of the court. That is the characteristics. Maybe unless it is something unfair, but normally you cannot deviate the decision of the court. That is just the characteristic. If you are wrong, you are wrong. If you are right, you are right. So that is a characteristic. If you go further, they will tell you that a fair trial is not a perfect trial. A fair trial is not a perfect trial because human beings are not perfect. Only God is perfect. So fair trial is not perfect trial. So trial cannot be perfect. It can only be fair. And fair trial is that trial that is just and equitable. So it is open up to everyone who takes their claim to the court. And that's one of the things the law will tell you, that the law gives the responsibility to everyone, whether you are blind, you are crippled, you are whatever, you are young, you are small, the law gives you the right to take your claim to the courts. So those are some characteristics. And the third characteristic of judicial law is the formalistic. If you hear the word formalistic, I cannot wear clothes like this and go in the court to plead case. It can't be possible because I am not dressing formally. So you have to dress formally. That's why they say the formalistic. You have to dress formally in the court so that your people can listen to you, so that you can look better. You can't be in something like this. I can't wear something like this and you go to appeal. You are not formal. So you observe that all lawyers, why going to court, they are always formally dressed. Always, at all time, everywhere they are formally dressed. And normally they wear gown. That's why you see them wearing that black gown. Because it is the characteristics, one of the major characteristics of the judiciary law. You cannot dress regularly and go to court to appeal for your client. You will look, you know what I mean. So you have to dress formally to go to court. That's why the characteristics is there for to lay by that characteristic. I think you remember sometimes ago a lawyer in Nigeria, a girl, she was dismissed because of her dress code. I think some of you listened to that story, or you read on that story, or you saw that story somewhere. So were the people wrong, or were they right to dismiss her? She's a lawyer, right? But she dresses any way she wants to. Is not the characteristics of law. She went against one of the characteristics of law. That's why they dismissed her. So normally as a lawyer, you need to be normally dressed well in your coat, in your necktie, your bow, whatever it is. But you have to be formally dressed because it is the characteristics of the judiciary law. So the judiciary law is very powerful. It's very, very powerful. More than any other law you think about. Because it is directly headed by the Supreme Court. And I told you the word supreme, if you hear that word supreme, you already know that it's the biggest, it's the strongest, it's the most powerful, it's the first. That's why it's related to religion. You will hear the supreme God, which means the biggest God. So that's the Supreme Court. So do you see how courts are arranged, how the judiciary laws are arranged? And when we talk about some country judiciary law, how they started, what induced them to start, what are their organs and other things, it's just similar to other countries, because every country must have a judicial system. Every country. If you have a country with no judiciary system, that country will not go for a day. I mean a day. I'm not even saying a week. I mean a day. That country cannot go a day without a judiciary system, because there will be violence, there will be criminal attitude, there will be murder. I mean, so many get named it, because no state, no country, no world can move without law. That's why the judiciary law is so important. So, in the judiciary system, the head is the Chief Justice. The Chief Justice is the head. If the Chief Justice dismisses you, you are dismissed. If the Chief Justice appoints you, you are appointed. So the Chief Justice is very, very powerful. He's the most powerful person within the court or the legal system within that country. He can dismiss you, he can appoint you. That's his power. So the judiciary law is good. The judiciary law was introduced, I believe it was introduced to promote societal well-being and peace and stability. That's why the judiciary law was introduced. So when you were down the line, when you were in a nursery, when you went to the kindergarten, you went to high school, primary school, secondary school, they told you about the three branches of government: the legislative, the executive, and the judiciary. That judiciary, we didn't go deep when we were in primary school, because it was on the surface. But at this stage, you understand that the judiciary is very, very powerful and large. I told you it operates on its own, and it controls its own finance and everything. So the court system is really good. Sometimes the trials cannot be fair. You have to accept it at times because, like I said, human being, we are not perfect. Only God is perfect. So some trials may not be fair. That is why it is. So if you want to take your case to another level, it is your right. The only thing is that you should cooperate with the responsibilities that will be given to you. Because you cannot just fly from this court to this court, from this court to this court because you want to go. You have to follow the responsibility. Sometimes people cases are not judged the right way. Sometimes trials goes very wrong. You are not satisfied with it. That's why the poor people don't trust the legal system. Honestly, the poor people never ever trust the legal system because the legal system sometimes favor people because of what they have, the position they have. So if you see what you have and the position you carry, it influences the judicial system to bend some rules. Some rules are not to be bended, but it can be banned because of the present position. Let's say a common person like me, if I do go in a case with a minister of the state, do you see that the minister of the state and a common mere citizens, if we both go to court, before I win that case, it's very difficult. It's difficult, to be honest. It's very difficult that I win that case because I'm a common person and I'm going against head of the state. I'm going against representatives. I'm going against senators, ministers. It's not true. You will find it difficult. Sometimes you can win that case, right? I'm not telling you that every time you will lose such case or people loses such case. What I'm trying to tell you that trial cannot be fair at times. To be honest, know about that. Because in the future you will face some problem with some trial and you feel that people don't like you. That is why it is. That is just life. Sometimes you can be right and you go to the wrong side. Sometimes you will go to prison for something or for a crime that you didn't commit. Sometimes you will go to prison. I'm telling you, you will go to prison for something that you know nothing about, or something that you took to court, but you go to prison for it because the trials are not fair always. Trials are not always fair. Only God is fair. If you go against someone who possesses the biggest power within the country, can you win that man? Can you win the minister of finance as a common man? Can you win the minister of let's say layman's and development? Can you win that kind of man in quote easily when you are a common man, when you are a poor man, when you can't afford? You can't win him, man. Sometimes you can win him, right? But it's difficult. So that's how the trials look like. That's how the let's say what should I say? The steps in the court system looks like. So if I do repeat myself, the court starts with the primary. From the primary, you go to the intermediate. From the intermediate, you go to high court. From high court, you can go to court of appeal. From court of appeal, you are now into the supreme boss, the Supreme Court. But to get to the Supreme Court is not something that you think is just like this. It's not. cases that really go to the Supreme Court are military cases. Military, the soldiers, those are people that really reach to the Supreme Court, or some crimes that are against security of the country. The crime that is going against the security of the country, those are crimes. It's not murder or theft. For theft, you go to Supreme Court. No, it's not possible. You have to pass from step to step, from step to step. That's why there is competency within every judgment or every court proceeding. So, what do we mean by competency? For example, let me give you an example on competency. If I made an agreement with my friend that I want to buy this laptop for 150 United States dollars, we made the agreement to buy this 150, and I pay $130, remaining $20 USD, and I don't want to pay my friend balance money. Do you see that? That is a civil case. Right over there is not a criminal case. It is a civil case because we made an agreement. You cannot take this claim to a criminal court. There where competency comes in. The criminal courts is not competent to judge this case of the laptop because it was an agreement made. It is the civil court. You take this complaint to the civil court, and the civil court is now competent to judge the case. In another example, if I go to someone's shop and I maybe took his or her money without his or let's say or permission, I just go in, just took the money, get outside, start to walk. That case is different from this one. We didn't make any plan. We didn't come together to talk on. Oh, you need to take this money. You need to do this with this money. You need to come for this money. The person is unaware of what I'm doing. Is not an agreement. There where it becomes a criminal case. So if a criminal case occurs, you take a criminal case to a criminal court. You don't take a criminal case to a civil court. You don't bring civil matter into criminal matter. There where competency comes in. So that's why the year competency, that is the competency. So the judicial law is really good, actually. And it is mostly about lawyers, people who want to be counselor, people who want to be chief justice, people who want to be, in the legal field. You have to mastermind the judiciary part of the government. Those are the people that prosecute anyone. They are the greatest. They can prosecute anyone. But some country, there's another problem I have in that place. If a president, let's get this straight. If a president or the head of the country appoint the chief justice, how do you think the chief justice can prosecute such men? Let's be honest. How is that possible? I was appointed as the chief justice of my country by the president. So if the president commit a crime, I would not have that full supremacy to prosecute the president. It's wrong. It's 100% wrong. President appointing the chief justice is wrong. Let's be honest. It's completely wrong. And another one that is wrong, it might not be in the legal field, but I want to talk about is election commissioner. If the president appoints the election commissioner, What sense does that make? No sense. Because that person will work in favor of the president during the election. I don't know why people just twisting around. What they our elders, what they were thinking about making those decisions of president should elect this person. Let's say, sorry, to should let the person should appoint. If I appoint you, you will work under my power. You will fear me because I'm the one who gives you that job. I'm the one who put, let's say, makes you to have food on your table. If I gave you job, can you hold it against me? It's not possible. So we need to get rid of that. We as people coming out to go in that field, we can get rid of that. But it can work easily as I'm saying it that we can get rid of it. We say, oh yes, we can get rid of it. It's not easy, but it can happen, because the new generation is moving to another stage. The new generation is so different from the old generation because the old generation made a whole lot of mistakes. So many mistakes the old generation made. But this new generation is coming with a new mindset, it's coming with innovation, it's coming with technology mixed with the legal system. So if you miss technology in the legal system, come on, it goes very fast. So that's how the legal system is going wrong thing. If the president is appointing the chief justice, come on, the chief justice cannot prosecute the president easily because it was the president who gives him that job. If someone gives you a job, let's look at that normally in our society. Let's look at that in life. If someone gives you a job, can you easily go against that person as a sound-minded person or as a, let's say, I don't know what to say, but normally you cannot easily go against that person. So that is wrong under the judiciary system. It's absolutely wrong. So I want to see in your comment section what you have to say about that, what you know about that, what is your recommendation to us as newcomers, as people who are emerging to that field. What is the advice to us? You have to give us some advices. So I will take a short break and I'll be back. What the